invasion. Call of Allah, Allahayinawa, Abanawa, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. We're giving it our praise to our power, our Father, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elect elders of Israel that rule well. Strong salutation to you brothers out there that labor in sound doctrine and in sincerity. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Barakatim, Shahofalek, elect, and peace, blessing, salutations to the house of David, the elect. And the topic of this video is called home invasion. And I'm gonna start off reading this. We're gonna define the word invasion, all right? And we're gonna deep dive into the scriptures on the home invasion that's gonna take place. And the home invasion that's gonna take place is big. It has many levels, all right? First, the Most High, Yahweh Shema Shai, is going to spiritually home invade his own people, his own house, the house of Yahweh Shah. All right. The nation of Israel is going to get spiritually invaded, man. All right. And it's ultimately going to manifest through the Most High sword on the left-hand side. Y'all know him as, all right, the Caucasian man, the French man, the English man, the Dutch man, the Irish man, the Italian man, the Jewish man, the Russian man, all right? But the scriptures that Most High calls him, gave him a name of ISRAELITE, man, Idumea, all right? His sword, his wicked sword on the left-hand side is going to bring about, all right, the physical manifestation of the home invasion of Yasharallah, Israel, all right? 2/3 are going to be cut off and die. Smite the shepherd, and the little one shall be scattered, man. So that's a home invasion taking place, all right? And then the Lord's going to double back, going to backdoor Esau, and Yahweh Shah is going to invade Esau and the other nations, man. All right, so there's a big home invasion that's taking place. And before we get into the scriptures, we just gonna define this word invasion and just jump into the lesson, man. So this is the word invasion, and the reason says an instance of invading. All right, what is invading? What does that mean? Invade says enter so as to subjugate or occupy it. It says similar: occupy, conquer, capture, seize, take over, annex, win, gain, secure, march into, overrun, overwhelm, storm, descend on, swoop on, swarm over, all right, surge over, make inroads on, attack, all right, attack, assail, assault, raid, plunder, maraud, all right, enter a place, situation, or spirit of activity in large numbers, especially with intrusive effect. All right, similar as penetrate, pervade, fill, spread through / over, diffuse through, imbue, perfuse, be disseminated through, flow through, assail, attack, take over. All right, so that's what it means to invade. So let's go back to invasion. It says in the instance of invading a country or region with an armed force. So to attack or to assault or to take over, all right, or to penetrate, right? It says an incursion by a large number of people or things into a place or spirit activity. It says an unwelcome, check it out. It says an unwelcome intrusion into another's domain. Violation, infringement, interruption, disturbance, disruption, a breach, all right? A breach, infraction, intrusion into, encroachment on, trespass on, obtrusion into, interference with. All right, and the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai is going to make a breach upon the house of Jacob, man. All right, that's why when you read Isaiah 1:9, the Lord have left a small remnant, because after this breach takes place, there's only going to be a small remnant that make it out of this home invasion that's going to take place, man. All right, and Yahweh Shah forewarned us like it. Yahweh Shah forewarned us, all right, of this home invasion that's taking place. The prophets warned us, all right. The Most High, Yahweh Shah, has his eyes upon the sinful kingdom, and all the sinners of his people shall die. Let's get that. All right, let's go ahead and get it. All right. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. It says, behold, the eyes of the Lord Yahweh power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob. Utterly means completely, but that doesn't mean he's not going to destroy the house of Jacob. He's going to destroy the house of Jacob and leave a small remnant, and we're going to get it in Isaiah the 1st chapter. All right, it says, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh. For lo, I will command, I will sift the house of Israel among all nations, like as corn is sifted in a sieve, yet shall not the least grain fall upon the earth. So the Lord is going to sift the whole house of Israel among all nations, throughout the four corners of the earth, man. And that sifting process is taking place. All right, that's why you have the whole house inspection, man. I just did a video. Check that video out. The previous video I just dropped. All right, the Lord Yahweh Shah is sifting the whole house of Israel, man, throughout the four corners of the earth. And he said, not the least grain gonna fall upon the earth. All right, not the least grain is gonna fall upon the earth. Meaning the Lord is not gonna miss his targets. All right, Yahweh Shah got a hit list and targets, man. All right, he got targets. He got targets for him to pretty much destroy. All right, and he got a list for the ones that he gonna save, man. The Lord's not gonna miss his mark. All right, that's pretty much what that's going into, man. It says, verse 10, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword. Now, the sword is what? All right, it says, I'm reading it again, we're gonna precept, man. We're gonna precept. All right, this is Amos chapter 9, verse 10. All right, it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. Now, that sword is what you read about in the Psalms, the 17th chapter, when King David was praying for the protection from the home invasion, because King David and the rest of the prophets knew that there was going to be Jacob's trouble. And during the time of Jacob's trouble, what pretty much kicks off Jacob's trouble is that great home invasion, man. When a desolation abomination is taking place, all right? When Jerusalem is being compassed, all right? When I say Jerusalem, I mean Israel, Yasharallah. When Israel is getting passed about with troops, man, with armies. When Esau is making his move, getting ready to roll, right? All right, I'm gonna start at verse 7. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 17, verse 7. It says, shew thy marvelous loving kindness, O thou that savest by thy right hand, and them which put their trust in thee from those that rise up against them. Keep me as the apple of the eye, hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Right, David want to be within that small remnant that make it out of the home invasion, because the Lord is about to destroy the whole. The Lord is about to destroy the house of Jacob, but he's not going to destroy the whole house of Jacob. All right, just the majority of Israelites on this side is not going to make it. It says, verse 9, it says, hide me under the shadow of thy wings from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about, and they are enclosed in their own fat, with their mouth they speak proudly. It says, they have now compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Right, like it says, and we shall see Jerusalem compassed about armies. David is pretty much prophesying of the home invasion of Jacob's trouble that's coming to take place, man, because it's Jacob's trouble because the house of Jacob is getting invaded, man. All right, it says, reading 11 again, it says, they have not compassed us in our steps. They have set their eyes bowing down to the earth. Like as a lion that is greedy of his prey, as it were a young lion lurking in secret places. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right. From the wicked, which is thy sword. Now, you read about the wicked in Malachi and Obadiah, man. All right. Chiefly Malachi. All right, so like, all right, this is the book of Malachi, chapter 1 and 4 says, whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. All right, just like David is asking Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down. All right, it says, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness. All right, Edom, right, the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. So Edom, Esau, is called the border of wickedness, meaning he's the wicked. He's that wicked one. He's the wicked seed. And David calls in Psalm 17, we just read it, all right, in verse 13. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Right, this same, the wicked, which is our sword, the same that you read about from verse 9 to 12, man. This is David is describing Esau, Edom, and what he's going to be doing during the upcoming times, during the time of Jacob's trouble, which is going to kick it off. The home invasion, man, the abomination of desolation, or the desolation abomination. All right, this is what David's talking about. So the wicked is the Lord's sword. So when you go back to Amos, all right, the book of Amos, chapter 9 and verse 10, it says, all the sinners of my people shall die by the sword, which say the evil shall not overtake nor prevent us. So all the sinners of Yahweh Shema Shah is going to be put to death by Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, during these upcoming times, man. All right, the Lord Yahweh Shema Shah is not playing. That's why it says the red horse, because that red horse represents the power of Esau. Let's get that in Revelation. All right, because this is that great home invasion that's taking place, man. Let me see, that red horse. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given to him a great sword. All right, you see that? Now, when you jump down to verse 8, it says, and I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him, and the power was given to him over the full part of the earth to kill with the sword. So what is that sword? What is it, the sword? It's talking about Esau, that red horse. All right, it's to kill with the sword, with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth. But what we want to focus on is to kill with the sword. The kill. It says it was given to him over the full part of the earth. Now the full part of the earth is talking about when you do mathematics. All right, when you do the population, or the roughly the approximate population of the earth, you do mathematics, you do a full part of that. That's what that's going into. So this pale horse is going to be they set on him death and hell. So this pale horse is bringing death and hell to the fourth part of the earth. All right, meaning a large number of people is going to receive death and hell. All right, and with that, and with death and hell, it's going to be killing with sword, hunger, death, and beasts of the earth. Now that sword, whether you know it or not, is what you read about, or we just read, Revelation 6 verse 4. And there went out another horse that was red, all right, And power was given to him that said they wanted to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword. All right, that great sword is talking about, all right, what you read about when Isaac blessed Esau with the sword. All right, when the Lord made the wicked his sword. All right, and what we just reading about now, and what the Lord said, all my sinners, because Israel is the sand of the sea. So the Lord said in Amos 9 that all the sinners of his people going to die by that sword. This is the same sword that you read about in Revelation 6 chapter. All right, you know, that same sword that you read about in Psalm 17 chapter. You know, it's the same thing. So the Lord is issuing out, all right, on the manifest fold, is issuing out Esau to invade the house of Jacob, to invade Yasharallah, the whole house of Israel, man. And only a remnant is going to make it. Let's get that. Only a remnant is going to escape this man. All right. This is Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9. It says, except the Lord Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been at Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So nothing made it out of Sodom and Gomorrah except for Lot. All right, Lot and his two daughters, right? Lot and his two daughters, man. All right, the rest of the Sodom and Gomorrah and the rest of those cities, man, they didn't have nothing left. So unless the Lord put aside himself a small number of elect, all right, after this home invasion, man, after Esau about to do what he gonna do, there would be nothing left. All right, so we got to understand that thing, man. So let's go to Ezekiel now, because the Lord is sifting, and this is spiritual process is going to ultimately manifest on the physical level. All right, this is Ezekiel. I'm gonna start at verse 4. This is Ezekiel chapter 9 verse 4. It says, and Yahweh said to him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abomination to be done in the midst thereof. And to the others he said in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark. And begin at my sanctuary. All right, now what is the Lord's sanctuary? All right, his people, the house of Jacob, man. All right, all the sinners of his people shall die by the sword. It says then they begin at the ancient men before the house, because you have wicked men in Israel. Let's get that. The reason why the Lord has to do this, because you have wicked men in Israel. This is First Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 11. It says, in those days went there out Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them we had much sorrow. So Israel has always been dibbling and dabbling and making covenants with the heathen, man. All right, following after the way of the heathen, being dismayed at the signs in the heavens, man. Following the way of the heathen, making covenants with the heathen, being wicked like the heathen, man. All right, like being wicked like the heathen. So the Lord has to bring about a just due judgment for Jake. All right, to get his mind right. That Most High Yahweh Shema Shai, he ain't come to play. All right, that's why this home invasion is taking place. All right, that's why this home invasion must take place. I think that was it on that on Ezekiel. All right, so the Lord is marking, put a mark upon the men that sigh and cry. So the men that has, and let's get that in Ezekiel. So the men that has that mark is for a purpose. All right, Mark.
Strong's H8420. Tav.
Wav, it says desire. Mark, it says mark as a sign of exemption from judgment. All right. So the men that has those mark, right, that you read about, Ezekiel, right? Ezekiel 9:4, it says, and Yahweh said to him, meaning to the angel, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh, and then cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of. So set a mark upon them, those legged men that wants all this wickedness to stop, that wants to see Esau thrown out of power, that wants to see the heathen under Israel's foot, that want to see Israel ruling again in righteousness, that want to follow Yahweh Shema Shah, and the laws are set back up in authority. All right, Jacob's Yasharallah is set back and established as the righteous rulers of the earth. You know, set a mark upon those men. You know, save those men. All right, pass over those men. You know, when you invade this house, pass over those men. Don't touch those men. Right? When you read about it, says, verse 6 says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is marked. So when this home invasion taking place, don't touch those men. They have a covering. All right, and I'm pretty sure those men with families, they're gonna be covered under the protection, under the name of that man. All right. The Lord is going to have mercy upon the men, women, and children. All right. The Lord, who we read about that in Romans. Let me get that in Romans. The Lord will have mercy upon whom He have mercy upon. So it's wise to abide in the fear of the Lord. Romans chapter 9, verse 18 says, therefore have He mercy on whom He will have mercy, and whom He harden. You know? So that's what's going down. And I want to go to 2nd Esdras 15. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 15 and verse 14. It says, woe to the world. And that world is starting with Israel, man. All right? Because when you go to Peter, 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse 17, it says, for the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. All right, the house of God is what? It's the house of Jacob, man. All right, you get that understanding through what Psalms 149. No, it's like Psalms 147. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 147, verse 19. He sheweth His word unto Jacob, and His statutes and His judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for His judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bashim Shah. So the house of God, the house of Yahweh Bashim Shah, is Jacob and Israel, man. Southern kingdom and northern kingdom. That's His sanctuary. That's what we're dealing with. He's in the midst of Israel. Let me get that in Joel. All right. So you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, the Lord's judgment is going to start with you first. This is the book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel, and that I am Yahweh, your power, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed. So the Lord house is Israel, Yasharallah. The Lord is in the midst of you so-called blacks, you so-called Hispanics, and you so-called North American Indians, man. All right, the Lord is in the midst of you, the southern kingdom and the northern kingdom. So let's go back to 1 Peter 4 and 17. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God, and if it first begin at us, what shall be the end of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Shema Shah? So the gospel, the house, it's like the judgment is going to begin with people that's in this truth. All right, because we were in the house of Yahweh Shah. And so you're going to have people in this truth getting purged out, and then the rest of you Israel that don't even want to obey or hearken to the word that wasn't even called into this truth. All right, you're going to have a worse an end. You're gonna have a worse end, man. All right, the Lord ain't probably even gonna deal with you on the level of somebody that was in this truth, man. All right, you gonna have the death of a heathen, man. Because basically, you people that ain't in this truth or it wasn't called, you're basically a heathen or a Gentile. So you're gonna have the end of a heathen. All right, and during this great sifting and purging process, or this home invasion that's going to take place, man. All right, so woe to the world, and that's starting with Israel, man. So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14. It says, "Woe to the world and them that are in, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men," here's the point, "and invading one another." There's gonna be an invasion taking place, man. And in the invasion we focusing on is the spiritual and physical invasion of the house of the Lord, which he's gonna bring that sword Esau, and then the invasion, the Yahushua bringing his invasion on Esau, Edom, and the rest of the nations, man. All right, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power." All right, so there's going to be invasions. There's going to be small invasions and the grand invasions, man. And we touching up on these grand invasions. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 13 and verse 29. It says, "Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them upon the earth, and he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another." That one realm against another is talking about when Yahushua is bringing his invasion against Esau, all right, and the rest of the nations, man. That the spiritual fourth dimensional realm coming into the physical third dimensional realm, man. All right, with different rules and regulations, man. Because the fourth dimensional realm don't play by the rules and regulations of the third dimensional realm. All right, so this is big. Verse 32, it says, "And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen when I shew thee before, and then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man descending. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land lead a battle they have one against another." Right, because when Yahushua is on the scene, everybody, the rest of the nations, they're going to try to come up against Yahushua. They're going to team up and try to come. They're going to try to get together, team up, and come against Yahushua, and they're going to lose miserably. All right? They're going to lose miserably. It's like in a moment. All right, they're going to lose miserably. All right, this is Zechariah chapter 5, verse 1. It says, "Then I turned and lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said to me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. And I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief." Right, it's going to invade. Yahweh Shema Shah is going to send this fathership chariot that Yahweh Shah, that cloud he going to be riding on. Because it says he coming with clouds, man. And Revelation, the first chapter, let's get that. All right, he coming with clouds. This is what John the Revelator was writing down. All right, this is Revelation chapter 1 and verse 7. "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kingdoms of the earth shall well because of him. Even so, amen. It says, I am Alpha and Omega. This is how speaking is written in red. It says, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord. All right, that's Yahweh, which is and which was and which is to come, the Almighty. All right, so he coming with the cloud, that flying roll, man. It says, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, verse 4, and into the house of him that swear falsely by my name. All right, now Esau is the thief, man. He the one that stealeth and taketh which that is not his, man. He the one that swear falsely by the Lord, because we read about that in Psalms the 50th chapter, when the Lord said to the wicked, all right, and the wicked is Esau. He says, what hast thou declared my statutes, if thou shalt take my covenant in thy mouth? Because Esau, he the one put on his currency, and God we trust. All right. They try to make, they say one nation under God, on the Statue of Liberty, on their pledge of allegiance, on their currency, in their court systems. They make you swear on the Bible when you on trial. All right, or you have to swear on, in the army you have to make an oath or swear. You got to put your hands on the Bible, if I'm not mistaken. So this America is a perpetrator of a God-fearing nation, but when they're the totally opposite, man. They have no fear of Yahweh Shema Shah. All right, it says, so this is why the Lord is calling Esau him that swear falsely by his name. All right, it said, to the house of him that swear falsely by name, and it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So Yahweh Shema Shah is going to bring an invasion that's going to consume, all right, consume the timber thereof, the stones thereof, man, meaning eat it up, meaning devour it. And how is that going to come about? Through that fire, all right, through the concentrated heat for those laser beams, that's going to bring about that fire of cleansing the earth, man, destroying Esau's society. That's why the Most High said, they shall build, but I will throw down, man. Okay, this is Yahweh Shai bringing his invasion out. After Esau bring his invasion, because you read about that in Revelation 12, all right, because he know he got a short time, man. Revelation chapter 12. All right, and it's a rewind through the spirit, man. All right, this is Revelation chapter 12, verse 7. It says, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was there place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceived the whole world, Salakia, and he was cast into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Right, because when that invasion taking place, Esau already has his space force. All right, and the heaven they're talking about, it's not talking about the third heaven. It's not talking about the fourth dimensional spiritual realm. No, it's talking about the physical third dimensional realm up in the firmament. Right, when you look up in the sky, all right, miles and miles and miles and miles of atmosphere. It's talking about the war taking place out there in the firmament, up there in space, man. All right, and it's talking about how when Yahweh Shai and Michael the archangel and the rest of the angels, the armies, are invading, Esau and the nations gonna have a space force teaming up with one another to take on Yahweh Shai. All right, and they gonna lose miserably, and all that little shit gonna get cast back down to the earth, man. They're gonna get cast back down to the terrain, man. All right, the Lord's gonna humble them. All right, they're gonna fail. The physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan, which is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, is gonna lose miserably, and they're gonna get humbled and thrown back down to the earth, man. All right, where he belongs, man, in the pit, in the grave. All right, it says, verse 10, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven. So this is talking about the invasion of Yahweh Shai and Michael the archangel and the rest of the angels invading, all right, Esau and the nations, and pretty much decimating them, right? Decimating them and casting them back down to the earth, right? And it says, and this is the afterlude. This is the, after they defeated them. It says, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down. right? Because it's just talking about, because when we read in Psalms 50 chapter, it says, thou slanderest thy old mother's son, man. All right, and I believe it's in Ezekiel. It says Esau falsely accuses, has slain us. It says, for the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night. So Esau is finally going to be cast down. All right, and it says, and they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. They love not their lives unto death. It says, therefore, it says, for this happening, therefore rejoice ye heaven, because this is a rewind in the spirit. Esau already know his time about to be up. So guess what he about to do? The Lord's about to put the spirit on him to invade the house of Jacob, man. All right, and that's why the Lord said, all the sons of my people going to die by the sword. Man, you got to see it in the spirit. Verse 2, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. All right, woe means destruction, man. And to the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. All right, because he knows he have but a short time. So for this, he knows he got a short time, man. His time almost up. So guess what he gonna do? He know he about to get invaded. So guess what he gonna do? He about to invade you niggas, man. And the Lord is gonna allow him to do it, man, because the Lord has a controversy against the inhabitants of the land, man. And let's get that in Hosea. All right, this is Hosea chapter 4, verse 1. It says, hear the word of Yahweh, ye children of Israel, for Yahweh have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of power in the land. It says, by swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out, and blood toucheth blood. It says, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. It says, yet let no man strive nor prove another, for thy people are as they that strive with the priests. Therefore shalt thou fall in the day, and the prophet also shall fall with thee in the night, and I will destroy thy mother. It says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children, as they will increase, so they sin against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame. They eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity. And there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings. For they shall eat and not have enough. They shall commit whoredom and shall not increase, because they have left off to take heed to the Lord. Whoredom and wine and new wine take away the heart. My people ask counsel at their stocks, and their staff declare unto them. For the spirit of whoredoms have cast them to air, and they have gone a whoring from under their power. All right, so it's pretty much talking about how Jacob went into idolatry, all right, and other abominable acts. And the Lord is going to destroy them for it, man. The Lord has a controversy with Yasharallah. And you see it now. Jacob is dibbling into idolatry and other abominable acts, falling out the way of the heathen. And the Lord is about to destroy them for it, man. The Lord has a controversy with Jacob, man. All right. So the Lord is about to bring that terror, man. The Lord's going to bring that terror. And Yahweh Shah spoke about that, man. So let's get it. So before Esau gets invaded, Jake going to get invaded. So this is the book of Luke, chapter 21. Verse 19. And it reads, it says, and your patience possess your souls, and when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is not. All right, the abomination of desolation, or the desolation abomination. All right, tomato. 21. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. Now, all things that are written which may be filled. That's not talking about, all right, 70 AD, because all things were written that wasn't fulfilled, man. All right, you still had to have the you know, what it was. Elijah had to come back and turn before the great and terrible day of the Lord. We read about that in Malachi. Matter of fact, let's get that. Prove you that wasn't talking about 70 AD, man. All right, this is the book of Elijah, chapter 4, and verse 5. It says, "Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming and great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse." Lest me before. So before the Most High Yahweh shall come and smite the earth with it, because we read about that curse in Zechariah the 5th chapter. All right, we showing you the scriptures and prophetic timeline that curses that you read about in Zechariah the 5th chapter. Like he just said, lest I come and smite the earth with that curse. All right, I mean that flying roll, that chariot, when Yahweh shall come with the clouds, the great and dreadful day of the Lord. All eyes shall see him. Before this happened, the Lord is going to send Elijah the prophet. All right, to do what? To turn the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the children to their fathers, man. All right, meaning the Lord is going to issue out, the Lord is going to issue out his spirit once again, man, and bring about Yasharallah to pretty much to know who they are, man. The fathers and the children, man. All right, the men, women, and children, man. All right, that came back in the third and fourth generation. The Lord is waking up his people, man, before the great and dreadful day of the Lord. So this didn't happen during the time of 70 AD. So all things had to be fulfilled. All right, but now this Malachi 4, 5 through 6, that has been fulfilled, man. All right, that has been fulfilled. Elijah the prophet came. All right, Elijah the prophet came, and he did what? He turned back the hearts. He turned back the hearts of the fathers to the children, and the hearts of the children to the fathers, man. All right, so we got the knowledge and wisdom, understanding that we Yasharallah, we Israel, and this truth has been spreading abroad, man. So now that this truth is going out, Matthew 24 and 13 said, "But he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel, all right, this knowledge of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then shall the end come." It says, "When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand in the holy place," meaning stand in these prophecies, stand in the testimony of Yahweh Shah, stand in these oracles, man. It says, "Whosoever readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains, and let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world until this time." So that's not talking about 70 AD, because Daniel the 12th chapter, Daniel the 9th chapter, Jeremiah the 30th chapter is not talking, it was not prophesying at 70 AD. All right, showing you that, but in Matthew 24, Luke 21, Yahweh Shai is not necessarily completely talking about 70 AD. Now he spoke of 70 AD when he was crying over Jerusalem. All right, when he speaks about 70 AD. Let's get it when he said truce. Can't remember it verbatim. It's in John, I believe. Wept. All right, Khan. So this is Yahweh Shah speaking about sin. Let's get it. Let's get the edification. All right, this is Luke chapter 19, verse 41. All right, and it says, and when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it, So this he's talking about the actual, not the people, but he's actually talking about the city of Jerusalem, including the people, but more so the Jerusalem, how it was going to be cast down. All right, the buildings torn down, the pieces, a siege was going to take place. Verse 42, it says, saying, if thou hast known, even thou at least in this thy day, the things which belong to thy peace, but now they are here from thy eyes. For the days shall come upon thee that thy enemy shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side, and shall lay thee even with the ground, and thy children within thee, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knowest not the time of thy visitation. So this is talking about 70 AD, where Jerusalem, the city, was getting judged when the siege was taken, when Rome laid siege to Jerusalem, man. When Jacob had to eat, when starving had to eat their babies, man. When they was running out of food supply. This is what Yahweh Shai is speaking about. Okay, when we read Luke 19:41 through 44, that's speaking about 70 AD. But Luke 21, Matthew 24, Yahweh Shai is speaking about Jacob's trouble, man. All right, and we know that because he says what? Matthew 24:21, it says, for then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right. So Yahweh Shai is prophesying about Jacob's trouble. All right. What kicks off is the home invasion, the abomination of desolation, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, man. So, as you can see, all right, a home invasion is going to take place. First starting with Esau invading Jacob, and then ultimately Yahweh Shai invading Esau and the nations, man. That's what you read about in matter of fact. So let's get that Numbers, and we're gonna close out. Numbers chapter 24 and verse 17. It said, I shall see him, but not nigh. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheph. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. And when he looked on Amalek, he took up his parable and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his latter end shall be that he perish forever. All right. So out of Jacob, it says, out of Jacob shall he come and shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. So there is a invasion. That the last invasion is going to take place is Yahweh Shai and the angels, right, coming to redeem the elect and destroy the heathen, man. So with that, giving our praise to Yahweh by Shema Shai, by Shema Kakodash, Yahweh Shema Shai, Barak them show for elect, and peace, blessings, salutation to the house of David, the elect. All right, detailed there to America. Abba soon, come out, Shalom, 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 Shalom.